Okay, so we're still building this ark, and it's a painstaking process. It takes a lifetime. If you want to talk to a professional, talk to Noah. He knows. But he was doing exactly that. He was giving us a template of how to enter in, to be covered, to raise above, to be on and over the waters of chaos and not in them. You don't want to be in them, especially in the season we're going into. So please hear the love in that we're doing our best to share something, and it's a painstaking process. We fully comprehend that. I apologize, but I don't apologize. It
just is what it is.
It is what it is. It's cost us much, and a lot of people have done organic work into them. Well done. But so we're going to move here quickly. Let's go, because we're still building the ark from the last session. I'm trying to break this up, and you see how fast the time goes. So let's go to, they're at the river and they're about to cross over. So let's go to look at what the water looks like. So let's go to Strong's 22:22.
Zarzip.
Zarzip.
Yep.
And it's only one occurrence of it.
The drip and the dropping. I was talking about to Regina in the video that I'm releasing today about this is how it has to be taught.
Okay. So this is exactly why we're here, is because to cross over we need to comprehend. Here it is again, a 22 and a 22.
Yeah.
Mother's 22 is the bitter, father's 22 is the sweet.
Yep.
And it's done in distillation.
The mar, from the mar to the mel.
Right, and we're going to go into that right now. But so we can look at one occurrence of this, and it's in Psalms 72:6, and it's watering the grass like showers water the earth. This is a latter rain. Okay? Don't need to get into it, but I can tell you that this is part of eating. Watering the grass is exactly what the king had to do when he was put out for the 7 cycles. He was eating the grass. What is the fire law? It's in between. You can see it right in there. It says grass, but it really means, when you can see it, it's actually talking about the law of fire, the law of truth. And
the fiery law.
Right. So sword and plow, the head, sword and plow. Mother is the first dripping. Her 22 is the plow that would raise the head. So the head would speak as the sword, because plow, zayin, plow, sword, a cutting implement. Mm-hmm. And one is to sow the seed, and the other one is to harvest. Right? So one is to cut down, and one is to build up. It's a product. It's just how we turn and nurture ourselves. In the vision, in the power, means, and direction of the work of our hand, allowing us to speak with the mouth, the authoritative words. So. And you look down at the bottom, it's really from an onion's root, to flow, a pouring rain, water. Okay? That's a big deal. This pouring rain is a big deal. So let's go to
irrigate.
To irrigate, right. This is how we get growth, is by these 22s. It's all through Scripture. It's such a big deal, these 22s. It's part of my birth code, actually, is the 22. But so now we see this drops and dripping, and Carrie just mentioned that this is bitter. Well, let's see what bitter is, and let's see if it connects with drops and dripping. So please go to 48:43.
Yep.
Now this Memresh is a bitter works, and this is actually where Isaac was taken on the mountain, Moriah, the Mar. And this is where we get even the cycle of frankincense and myrrh. Myrrh is the same thing. Myrrh breaks down to bitter. And this is where on the wilderness journey, where they tasted the bitter waters, and the Father said, throw in the bough of the tree. And it did what? It sweetened the waters. This is what's transacting here. The 22 first ones, the prefix 22 are bitter. The suffix 22 are sweet. And to show this, let's go to what its definition is. Let's go to 47:52.
Ah. Is that the first one, mar? To
First,
trickle?
Yeah.
See mar? Yep.
So you see, in the sense of distillation, a drop. The only way that we're going to comprehend the water is by drips and drops through distillation, because distillation takes out impurities.
And what do you use to distill?
Some fire.
Some heat.
Yeah, so that's where the sheen comes in, and that's the fire walk of what we're doing. Is
the fire in the water.
Every day is just a gentle process of kindling the priestly fire to boil the water to remove impurities.
So that you render the water clear.
Pure and clean.
Yep. Pure and clear.
Absolutely.
which is Shem, fire and water.
Which is, yeah, absolutely. I wanted to go, now we're talking about the ark still, so I wanted to connect the bitter water of what this is, and then we're going to talk about the sweet if we can get there.
The bitter water to the head.
But we brought up before about passing between and passing over. These are the crossed over ones. What is it? And we're talking about, at the last teaching, we're talking about the palanquin and then the ark and the chest that's being carried over. So please go to 8392 one more time so we can just establish this.
Taba. Yep.
Taba. Now, in these occurrences, if you look at how it's broken down, there's only two occurrences in this that are tav, bet, tav.
So if I go down to the bottom to show people that. Yep, two occurrences.
Now, I want to just focus on this for a second, because if I took this and rendered it clear through numerical association, just bet, or tav, bet, tav. Tav equates to 22.
The 22nd letter.
But it's spelled tav, vav.
Yep.
So vav is a 6, tav is 22. So let's look, and then we have the bet, which the bet is the second letter, 2.
Yep.
But it's spelled bet tav.
Yep.
And that's 22. And then we have tav again, which is the 22nd letter, but it's spelled tav vav, which is a 6.
And just before it, because I know you're going with this, tav is spelled tavav, means a mark exempt from judgment. This connects to the mark of the Kayutha.
So I want you to look at this completed. That's huge. This is the mark of the beast of completion. So now look at these two occurrences that are spelled this way. Make for yourself an ark of gopher is the first occurrence.
Yep.
The second occurrence in this one is...
Oh, this is the one with Moshe.
This is the one with Moshe I was talking about.
Oh my gosh, so they said it was a wicker basket. He was placed in the ark.
He was placed in the ark.
In the ark of the becoming, or the ark of the testimony.
That's why I needed to get here, so I don't lose the flow of this.
And look at the first one.
Carrie, let me...
It's Lamed Kav.
Yes.
And then it goes to a Lamed Vav.
Lamed Vav.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So grasping a hold of the language that brings revelation so that you can be the teacher that is filled up.
It's hard doing teachings with my wife because
I connect dots and I get so excited.
She connects dots very fast. And we've been here, but I need to be patient for you guys. And so this is all extraction that has been painstakingly, and she's going like, oh my goodness, and so she wants to run hard, but I got to rein. Whoa, racehorse, whoa. No galloping in the living room.
Well, there's not much room in here to go anywhere.
So let me go back.
Except for up.
Rewind.
Okay.
I don't want to lose focus. This is a really big deal.
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm
I get it.
showing you that Moshe is now attached to this. Moshe built the ark, and he was placed. His basket was and they call it the tet. So he was in the earth. He was in the wicker, because wicker basket breaks down to tet.
Right, in Paleo Hebrew,
and it means the wrestle in the mud, aka the earth, because we're mixed with water and dust.
Yep.
And so it's the flesh suit that we wrestle with.
Yep.
And we're wrestling between what in the tet? The snake head and the crown. We're working, and the snake head is what is whispered. It's the choice of the seraphim to go like, and I'm called the adversary to produce the crown. If you see it correctly, I'm your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on what you choose to wrestle with.
Right. So are you going to stay in your lower flesh nature and wrestle with that, or are you going to rise above it? Right.
So this is, again, this is all choosing correctly, because bara, choose.
In the beginning,
beginning, build this. This is what you're to build. You're to build the Rashid, and you're going to do it through choice.
Yep.
And you're to keep the tripod focused on the mountaintop. It has to be in the representation of intention. I'll give it to you from the beginning. It's called an ark, palanquin. Okay? Kings, from, like we said before, from Song of Solomon. Solomon had built it himself, as all kings must do.
Yep.
So, now let's look at this rendered down. Tav, bet, tav. I already established tav as a summation of 22. But tav is made up with the vav.
So it has a 6.
So it has a 6 attached to it, and then the bet is made up of the bet tav, and it's 222, and then the tav again. The final tav on this is tav, and if you can somehow write this, if you can or can't, doesn't really matter. So this is what it would say if I wrote it numerically. 22, 6. 2, 22, 6. 22, 6. The 22 of mother is a 6. The 2 journeys of the 222, the bet tav, and then 6, and then father's 22, 6. Right in that word, all 22s and 3 6s.
So we are talking about building the Ark of the Becoming, the measure of 666, the number of man.
The number of man.
So they have twisted and turned and perverted that. They have twisted and they have turned and perverted that everybody would shy away from the 666 mark, when it is the intention of the building of the Ark of the Testimony, so we become a witness and a testimony.
It's the start of the blueprint to say this is what you're going to start out with. It's not. The intention is to start out gentle and kind and build this through the process. If you want to invert it and go into lovelessness, then you're going to live in the inversion of a void, which is by definition the house of vanity. And by that definition, it's called the wicked place.
Yeah. But what I find fascinating with this is what I find so fascinating with what we just said about the 666. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 is 9. 9 is the letter Tet.
Choice.
The wrestle.
The wrestle.
But 9 means completion.
Completion. So you're going to wrestle until
the completion of man.
So if this is done, this is the template right here showing it, and if it's done correctly, all of those 6s would have been turned. You've turned the complete nature upside down, and it would be 22, 9, 2, 22, 9, 22, 9.
And 9 times 3 is 27, which also renders to 9.
9. You're completed 9. And I'll tell you what a 9 in this definition, we're going to get to it too, that a 9 is really seeking the completion of fullness. It's seeking the 1. That is the definition of Hebrew 9. It's waiting for it to roll over into 1.
Exactly.
And so I can show you that in a second because we're coming to that.
Which 10 is Yod.
Yeah.
And you odd out the 0 and it goes back to 1.
That's why
the vision of 1.
That's why the vision's in your heart. You're centered now as the vision.
Right.
And you're able to now turn and assist from that place.
Yep.
So that's really cool right there that Moshe's connected. Again, we can stop here and camp for a month and extract this out, but we're not going to. I got to keep on moving. If you want to ask questions, if you want to contact us, you're more than welcome, and we can render it a little bit more finer for you. But let's go to the other occurrence. There's only one occurrence of this one in Genesis 6:16. A window for the ark and finish.
Which is this the letaba?
Letaba. Now, if you look at that, what it's really saying, that the window is Mother's teachings. The window into the ark is the lamed. You have an added lamed on the prefix of this, and it's the revelation. So Mother's teachings are the window into the ark.
Yeah, but it's Zohar. That's Zohar. So anybody that knows the word Zohar, that knows there's the book of Illumination,
right.
The Zohar, and then it's a dimensional pasuk, which means to separate.
Yeah.
Because it's talking about the illumination of the system of duality, this or that.
You become the measure. You become the cubit. You have now become
Mother's measurement, where she reveals.
Right.
And what is it? The ark now has a lamed in front of it.
You're now a teacher.
So this one verse verifies everything that we've been saying, that the pattern and the blueprint from the Ark of the Testimony, is the testimony of those who become teachers of light. That's what the lamed is.
Yes.
And then what's the very next word? Way-el, connected to God.
Right.
Who have found the measurement of the revelation of one love.
Yes. This is all
the illuminated ones,
yes,
Zohar.
Yes, these are the windows into the ark. So they've gone through. What we're showing you is the window that we've had to peer into, and this is in Daniel too. Daniel peered out the window because that's exactly what he was.
But that speaks of transparency.
Absolutely.
Rendering everything clear.
Absolutely.
You're no longer opaque.
Now that you've peeked in the window, and now you've entered in through that window, you've climbed over the window and climbed into it to become it. Now in turn, you teach.
Yep.
So now these are the completed arcs.
The teachers of the pattern, wow.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, to be marked as one who's exempt from judgment that has built. And look at it, has the diamond above it again, which means a gift from God.
Yep.
So these teachers are gifts from God.
Yep, these are the treasures.
That bring the illumination.
Absolutely.
Zohar.
This should rattle some people.
Oh my gosh, this is rattling me. And Zohar, look at that! It's Zayin. It's the path and the journey of the mountain.
Yeah.
Har.
Yeah, the 222.
To be illuminated.
Can you please go to hit mountain, please, for people to see that? Can you just show them what that number is?
What is it again?
It's 2022.
There we go. Har. Yep.
There you go. So people can see that this is huge. This 2022 is huge. So this is the journey of the mountain, the 222.
Yep.
So there's the mountain journey, and it just connected to the ark.
And the very first occurrence of it, it shows the twin haze.
Yep.
It's Haharim.
Haharim.
And it has the word Asher in
Right.
there as well.
So these are the Ashurim, Ashurim.
The Gibah.
The Gibarim, the mighty men of valor.
And Gibah, it goes, that's prior to the head. Gibarim.
Right. And just for reference again, Gibber is tethered to Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel just means a mighty man of El. So we can take away not to take away the angelic, but we fill up the angelic revelation by saying, it's not this distant thing. It's a frequency that we're able to attach ourselves to and associate
in the process of becoming.
In reverence and humility to become the meek measure of intention.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is a mighty man. Pretty cool stuff, right?
Wow.
Now let's go down to, you're in that still, so go down to, there's two more occurrences I want to look at real quick, and there's only two occurrences of it, and it's Batiba. And it's in Genesis 7:23 and Genesis 8:1.
Yep.
And both of those are Aleph, Vav.
Aleph, Tav, Vav.
Aleph, Tav, Vav, right?
Yep.
And
together those that were with him in the ark.
And they're both Asher. Right?
Yep, I see Way Asher, and I see Asher, and I see the Aleph Tav.
Good. And then you see Elohim right on the back side of the 8:1.
Yep.
So these are.
And look at that! Crossed over.
Crossed over.
Eber.
Yep. The ark.
In the ark to pass, and God.
Yep.
To become Elohim.
Right.
My goodness.